All right, America, what if we had public supermarkets that operated like public schools? The government would assign you to a local grocery store. Groceries would be free at the store. You paid for them through your taxes. You wouldn't have as many options. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But that's exactly the way the schools are run. Here now, the author of the Wall Street Journal editorial entitled "If Supermarkets Were Run Like Public Schools," George Mason University economist and Professor Don Boudreaux. Professor Boudreaux, it's a pleasure. Welcome here.
Thanks.
Is education a right or is it a good?
It's a good. It's a good. We certainly should have a right to pursue it, but it's a good. It's a good just like food. And yes, there are differences, but we know from experience that when you have competition and private entrepreneurs competing for consumer dollars, we get really good food distribution service in America. Groceries, even in inner cities, work pretty darn well. Some K through 12 schools don't.
Something happened 125 years ago or so, in the beginning of the progressive era in America, when the government decided that it should operate schools. And as a result, we all pay for them, whether we need them or not. They have no competition. They have a continuous flow of customers, the students. I know you've been criticized for calling students customers, but in this model, they are the customers. And they have an unending cash flow, no matter how lousy a job they do. Could anything survive like that in the free market?
No. In fact, Judge, it's even worse. It's not. They get more cash when they do poorly, because what do you
mean?
What do schools use as an excuse for more money? They say, oh, it's true, we're performing poorly. Therefore, that means we need even more money. Can you imagine a worse incentive system? Suppose your ratings really fell.
They're not going to give me a raise.
Well, but if you operated like the schools, you'd tell your bosses here at Fox, you'd say, that only proves I need more money, and they'd give you more money.
All right, what would it be like if the government didn't run schools? Who would run them? Where would they be? How would we get to them? What would they cost?
You'd have parents running them, essentially, in the same way that families run supermarkets. You have entrepreneurs who make these offerings to customers. Customers go in, they choose what they like, and the entrepreneurs respond to those demands. Prices keep falling, selection keeps improving, quality keeps improving. That's what would happen in K through 12 education.
Prices fall,
yep.
Selection improves,
yep.
Quality improves,
yep.
Because of competition.
Competition.
Which is something the government doesn't know, doesn't understand, fears, and essentially outlaws.
Absolutely.
Because if I want to send children to a private school, I am free to do so. Yep. But I am not free to take half of my property tax bill that goes to the local schools and use that for my children. I still have to spend that money the way the government wants it spent.
Terrible incentive system. Awful. Right. They get their money regardless of how they perform.
Is there a winning argument to be made here? Or are you and I and many of the people watching us now sort of whistling in the wind? Or is the concept of the public school system so embedded in Americans, good, decent Americans that want a good bang for their buck, that this will never change?
Judge, if you look at the data on inner city families, they want more school choice. They want tax credits to send their kids to private schools. They want vouchers. They want more school choice. They want to get their kids at least into charter schools. It's the teachers' unions who don't want competition in public schools. Let's face it, the K through 12 public schools in America today are run chiefly for the teachers' unions. That's what they run for, not for the kids.
All right. Social Security broke. Medicare broke. Amtrak broke. Medicaid broke. The post office broke. The schools broke in that they consume money. They don't produce any. Yeah. Is change brewing? Is the public going to wake up to this?
I hope so. I hope so. And, we're all doing our part, writing articles, what you do here in Fox. I hope change is brewing, because it can't go on. You cannot continue to operate broke for long.
Got it. Professor Don Boudreaux, economist from George Mason University. Great article, great comparison. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
The IRS has gone political, while the tax man is going after campaign donors. Next.